at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Police made off the track till after the driver's meeting is complete. Tonight will be a total of 100 laps. We're going to have no stage breaks, one faster pair of 4 additional sets of tires. A few things to note: the only black flags that will be cleared are passenger yellow due to wrecked cars or wrecking into the pits. We will not clear black flags for speeding through pits or unsafe entry or exit. During the restarts, keep the pack tightened up to a maximum of 1 car length. Laying back to jump the start will result in a penalty. And when taking the green flag, you must maintain your line until you cross that stripe. After the yellow flag is out and you safely made it through any wreckage, please catch up with the pace car immediately to prevent delaying others. And when cycling through a green flag stops, state over the radio what your intentions are to allow others to move around you. Good luck. Have fun. Now that is a photo finish.
As long as I don't take the track, I'm good, right? I can just watch.
Ladies and
Absolutely, you're more
gentlemen,
than welcome to
welcome
watch or
to
spot for anybody in the
week
field who's
number
active
3
on
of the
track.
Contender Truck Series here for DESI Racing. We're
Bet
here in
that. Good
Las
luck,
Vegas
fellas.
with
Have fun.
100 laps. I am joined tonight with Edwin Warren, my broadcast partner, and our producer, the wonderful Damon. How you doing, Edwin?
Oh, I'm good, man. This is going to be an amazing race here today. Las Vegas is a mile and a half that has the capability of running high speeds. But with that high speed comes tire issues. So these guys are going to have a lot to focus on.
Yes, sir. And let's get our starting lineup here tonight. And on the pole position, number 35, Ben Pivot and Robert Sanders at a 20 starting second. That'll do it for road number 1. Number 68, Ward Fisher starting at 3rd. Kevin Stanley in 95 starting at 4th. Road number 2. Road number 3, Underhill in the 21 starting at 5th. Christopher Wolford in the 51 starting at 6th.
Nice paint there, Dylan.
Nicholas Lamb in the 50 starting in 7th. Andrew Bryson in 37 starting in 8th. And that'll do it for row number 4. Row number 5, Michael Schema in the 79 starting in 9th. Jeff Dinnan in 84 starting in 10th. Row number 6, Brian Smith in a 96 starting in 11th. And Dylan Hinton in 81 starting in 12th. That'll do it for row number 6.
No.
Row number 7, Colby Kerwin in 27 starting in 13th.
So
Ryan Godfrey in 12 starting in 14th.
You didn't drive.
Row number 8, Stetson Williams at 34 starting 15th. Michael Schaefer in 46 starting in 16th. Eric Robertson in 83 starting 17th. Paul, I'm going to mess this up, Mazuski. Majesta, thank you. In the 47 starting in 18th. Jacob Akers in the 82 starting in 19th. John Datal in the 64 starting in 20th.
So do we want to work our way up to the front?
25 of Donald Rissall and Donald Bell in the 13. That'll do it for road 11. Austin Knight 7 started 23rd. Michael Kinn 66 started 24th.
Yeah, 30 cars in the front row.
85 Lucas Alves in starting 25th. And Sean Dion in the 3 started 26.
Crowded. There's nowhere safe to hide.
And last but not least, Jonathan Howe in the 97 starting in 27th in row number 14. And that is our lineup tonight. 27 cars out there tonight. I think some chaos may happen. These guys got about 37 laps worth of fuel. So they're going to have to make about 2 stops on the dot, I want to say. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be chaotic. Fuel strategy is definitely going to be a factor here tonight.
Yeah, especially for whoever's starting on pole. That front row is going to have it the hardest because they can, they can back off and ride their corners and, live. But that means they run the risk of getting overrun by the guys behind him or getting that tow. So these guys are going to have to manage everything. But those in the front, they're going to be looking for the hardest situation, looking forward to the hardest situation because a lot can go wrong for them.
Yeah, and tonight, it's mostly flat out, so I think probably by lap 10, you're going to see some people fall back and people who are pushing with their hearts out. And green flag is out. 20 and 35 still side by side. Another one of them got a great jump. So I think everything's going to change right here off exit of 2.
This is where they really got to iron it out because the sooner they get calm, the better. As, looks like Pivot's going to take the lead, but the 20 car going to have momentum on the outside, and he's going to be looking to take that position.
Yeah, Ben Pivot's going to honestly, going to have that wonderful run off of 4, simply because they had the inside line. The inside line is going to prevail here since these guys could go basically full power about the first 10 laps without issue. Yeah, I had a feeling Ben Pivot was going to be able to clear the 20 car. A little bit of chaos right here in the middle of the field. One car having a problem. It's going to even falling back. Well, truck loose in the middle. All the way down the white line.
The 20 car is getting around him. It's that outside momentum, but he can't ride there for long. It's going to chew up those tires. but he's going to try and clear him going into 1, but I don't think he has the speed yet.
Yeah, you don't have the speed, but a lot in this instance, you're going to want to have somebody behind you for that draft situation, but we're going to see off of 2 whether or not the 20 can pull around out in front.
They are still green, still running. The 20 car still battling on that outside. Now, the good thing is Ben Pivot knows that that's going to hurt the tires more on that 20 car, so he's going to try and force him to stay up there. Saw how he just pushed him up on exit. That was to keep him from being able to clear him so that he stays in that higher groove and hurts his tires more.
And you got the 51 of Wolfberg coming into picture. So he has, in my opinion, the best view of this. He can go high or go low. He can help out who he wants. He almost looked like he wanted to go make it 3 wide on the bottom.
Yeah, if I was him, I would definitely stay out of the rear end of those guys. I would try and keep them from getting aero loose, because if you cause them to get loose right in front of you, you're now at risk. And that is our first throttle hopper making his appearance in the top 5. That team has been extremely consistent, but they're still knocking on the door for that first race win. So I know that throttle hopper right there, he's eager to get out front. Look how they fan out on the backstretch.
Yeah, someone almost got hooked into the wall, but thankfully no incident. I think, Ben Pivot in a 20 making contact.
That's going to kill a lot of momentum, because look at the 51 coming into it now. But he's losing momentum.
I had a feeling that was going to happen again, because I was noticing what was happening. I think that when Ben Pivot was had that outside line kind of closed off, it was going to make him be pushed up into the 20. Because you have that right side of the air, like, being cut off from your car, essentially. So, yeah, right now
it's just heating up tires, because, he's going full throttle. So he's heating up his machinery every step of the way. So he's in a very off-putting situation, but now he's got the 51 breathing down his neck, and that 20 car is looking to get back at him.
Yeah, so I think all out of runs and longer runs, probably like around lap 15 to 20. Because if we are to keep the side-by-side action, someone is going to get wrecked, and it's just going to be use of old tires, tire wear, stuff like that. So yeah, I think it might be a caution, like, off the exit of corners now. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Normally I would agree with you that there's a caution definitely coming, but the Contender Series has been doing something that they're not, I don't want to say not known for, but it's something very interesting. Last race at Chicagoland, they had one caution that would have happened by now, and then they went green flag all the way. I'm starting to think this race might end up green to green, which is, the fuel mileage savers and the tire specialists are going to prevail in that type of situation.
Let's take a look at this. Like last race, Chicagoland, like in a very clean race, but honestly, 2 different types of racetracks. Because Las Vegas, these guys are able to keep a more open throttle than I want to say you could at Chicagoland. But as this race goes on, I think that a lot of people are going to be more on the throttle a lot longer than what they want to be. So it's going to cause someone to get tight off the exit and make car contact and put someone on the wall. So I think it's going to be something to keep be mindful of as this race goes on.
Yeah, they're definitely going to pay attention to everything. I mean, look at that 51. He is harping on that car. But look, I'm going to take a step back. The 95 of, who exactly is that? Let me make sure I'm saying the right name. Kevin Stanley has not come off that high line practically this whole race. And I'm a little worried about that, because I practiced it. I went out there and practiced it to make sure I knew what I was talking about. That high line is going to eat those tires alive. So he's running a very dangerous game right now by staying all the way up there, but it's working out for him. He's in the P3 position.
Well, right now we're on lap 11. I think now lap 12. Yep, lap 12. So tires have truly come into effect, so probably about 8 more laps. We're going to see what happens here.
Inside, Colby, inside.
They're running hard right now. Jeff Dinda back there in the P12 position just called out to somebody, go to my inside. I think Jeff might be feeling the brunt of his tires, but back towards the front, look at that. The 51, he made a peak, but wasn't able to do much with it. Now he's just back in line. I'm telling you, man, they're running like this because they have to right now. But give it to lap 20. We're going to start seeing change of positions and then fanning out more because the tires are going to let go.
After about his first pit stop, I don't think this order is going to be the same other than Ben Pivot being a top 5 at the end of the pit cycle. So I think that pit cycle is definitely going to change up this order drastically. Because a lot of people are either going to be hitting the wall by the end of lap 20, getting some error or wheel damage, some form of damage. I feel like something's going to happen to one of these guys, or they get tied up off exit and collect somebody. I think it's going to be keep an eye out for some of these guys who've been pushing so early.
Yeah, they're really going to have to start thinking about what they're doing, because the longer this goes, the harder it's going to get, because, I mean, those tires are not going to last. And I know I'm saying tires a lot, but I have to. I want to bring up how tires come into play. They're not even single file yet. They're still battling everywhere. So this is going to make it a very interesting thing.
The 95, if you notice, he went diving all the way down to the bottom and went all the way up to the track, and he's now going to lose second position again to the 51. So are we sure that if someone is to the outside, like, battle, look, 95 back on the wall? So I think tires are already more to effect. Tires are starting to wear out more and more as the run goes on. So, but yeah, like you said earlier, 95 was out on the high line for a long time. So his tires might be a little bit worn than the 51.
And you know, I might be wrong here. I thought the 51 was setting up the 35 a bit
that's what we were just talking about
on those tires, and he was
No,
having a
we
better
weren't
run,
discussing
but now he's
that.
starting to
I was
drop
listening
back.
to you.
That's a clear cut. Oh, wiggle there from the 95 of Stanley, but that's a sign that maybe he's hurt his tires.
I think tonight
and
in
now
Premier is
he's
going to be rough.
backing up into
I'll just put it that
everybody.
way.
But look at that. Look at Schaefer coming in
Yeah,
there.
we'll
Schaefer was all the way back
we'll,
towards 6th position coming into this corner.
we'll
and he's
see
down to the
what contender truck
P4
driver is allowed to
position,
race in.
looking to move
Premier
his
than
way up
see
more,
how
so
well
he
they do.
might have a better advantage on tires.
Let's see.
It's stuff like that when you see for the 95 get loose off exit. It's tire game is honestly, I think, has ruined the 95, because getting loose off exit this early on, like, was it when we saw it, I think lap 17, kind of bizarre. Air on the hill 21 sending it 3 wide.
And it looks like the 95 is going to be the biggest loser in that, taking a hit of 2 positions. But that's what I was talking about. Running that outside line is going to put you in this situation of having no tires to really do anything. And that's what he's now feeling.
Sorry,
he's got great short run speed, but he's got no long run speed, as he is all the way back there now. He's dropping. He's back towards Ryan Godfrey, who's in the P7 position.
He's been, I think, running the high line the longest.
And Aaron Underhill is going to take over the P2 position. But Ben Pivot is pretty successful. Sorry about that. Ben, go ahead.
Now, let's talk about Aaron Underhill for a second. Didn't start, like, hold on, let me make sure I get this right, but Aaron Underhill did a very good job of making sure he started at 5th, and right now is up in 2nd place. And that, I think, has helped out Aaron Underhill the best, because I don't think he was pushing all that often. He went back a little bit at the start and now working the way back up to the front. Look at the time he's already cut off. So, lap 21, was under a second for a little bit. So Aaron Underhill may be a great person to watch right here as far as tire management for this race.
Yeah, he's definitely working it. And normally, you know, I raced against Aaron Underhill last season in the Contender Series. He was a constant threat every week, but when we came to tracks like this, he was a top side guy. I think he realized something about this truck and about this track that he didn't agree with on the top side. And he is now running the bottom, and it is working out. He is putting a gap on P3 right now. He's got that gap up to 0.7 of a second, and he is starting ever so slightly to chip into the second lead that Ben Pivot has over the rest of the field right now.
And just chip away little by little. They're 3 wide and back in the middle of the field.
Still no caution, but field is spread out the length of the back straightaway right now. And these guys are putting on a heck of a show right now. This is absolutely amazing.
Aaron Underhill kind of slowly losing that time once again. Who knows, maybe he'll chip off more time as his run goes on. And Robert Sanders at 20, who dropped back, I want to say down to 7th, back up to 3rd, work his way back up through the field.
Now, sorry about that. One guy I want to talk about. Let's talk about the 25 of Donald Risto. He's running in the P20 position right now. Okay? And I want to bring him up specifically because our points leader is not here for this race. So if Donald is able to gain 18 points to that person in this race, which he will if he finishes where he's at, that will be our new points leader. But here's where the problem comes in. You have Paul Majewska. He is the other guy. He's only 6 points behind Risto. And Paul Majewska is currently running in the P16 position, which would actually, if they finish where they are now, Ben, that'd make Paul our points leader.
100%. And I'm going to look at the points. I'm going to look at points every now and then throughout this race, too. So I think Paul Majewski, if he can make his tire game really well for the rest of it, I think he'd be set. But let's talk about Aaron Underhill. Right now, 26 points behind that, and he's in his second. That would put him 100% in the points lead position.
So it's a tight battle for the points lead here in Contender. I mean, it's up for grabs for a lot of them with our points leader not being in attendance. So let's see where they shake out. And one guy I want to bring up is, you know, again, Paul, he's back in that 16th position. He's caught up to Jeff Dinda, who at one point was battling towards the tail end of the top 10. So he is heading in the wrong direction. Oh, we got a wreck. We got the 64 John Donald going down. Ryan Godfrey, the 12 involved.
Lap 28, and this is going into turn 1. We're getting a replay here very shortly. "12 of Ryan Godfrey involved in that wreck." Let's take a look at this now. Heading down to turn 1. Okay, back up. Oh!
See if we got another angle of that. Look at that. So you've got John Dottle. He's got a run going, and Ryan Godfrey was trying to follow the truck in front of him. Didn't realize that guy came up right there, and boom, 2 of them going spinning today.
Right as the right quarter panel, and yeah, just not fully clear. Not a whole lot of real estate to work with at that current moment.
Before we go on break, Ben, if you were in this situation, 29 laps into this race, you pitting or no?
Yes, 100%.
Agreed.
We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. More racing here at Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Contender Series here at Las Vegas. Ben Pivot and Aaron Underhill in front row. Robert Sanders in third. Dylan Hinton in fourth. And Wolford in fifth. And we're back in to go. Green, Edwin. Kind of predictions. Race incident I feel like you and I can agree on. And we're back in to go. Green. Hopefully another long green flag run here at Las Vegas.
I have no idea why that this is going the way it is. I don't know what I'm saying, but I have no idea why these guys are able to manage these tires so well, because I'm not. And it's clearly showing that these guys have some kind of elevation, and Contender has really stepped their game up. Here at DES, we have what's called Premier, and that's our elite of the elite. That's our best of the best drivers. And right now, after the start of this season, all these Contender guys are showing they need to be Premier drivers, as we've got a race for the lead right now.
They pivot in the wall. Around the hill, so right behind the 35 and Ben Pivot. Dylan Hinton on the outside making moves. Oh, there's a bump. People got loose, so it's full wide going down in turn 3.
That got hairy fast. That was a bad moment. But Dylan Hinton, he's back there in that P4 position. Remember, this is our Contender Series champion from last season. So he knows what the heck he's doing right now. And if I remember correctly, it wasn't this type of track, but his teammate at the time won on this track, and it was a 1-2 finish. Oh, Dylan Hinton around!
Saved it!
Oh, back into the field. Big wreck. 13 Donald Bell involved. 95 involved. Schema involved. Dylan Hinton is where it started at. Dylan Hinton in the 81. Big issue right there involving him. It looked like it started with him there, Ben.
Dylan Hinton got bumped in the rear off exit of 2, and that caused a chain reaction.
Let's go ahead and back this up so we can see exactly what happened.
But you see the 79 right up right behind him.
It's that arrow push. You see how the 79 swiping his rear end like that.
Yep, and that bump
yep.
Got it.
That bump hit him up. Yeah, look at that.
I wonder what his wheel is like going into that moment. Because
he has to be fighting that wheel.
Yeah, the wheel looks like he made a quick shift to try to counteract that, and look right here, fighting it, and it just went on him.
He was fighting it most of that corner, because when somebody's behind you, but there's like weaving right there behind you, they're not intentionally doing it, but you're feeling the air in the rear end of the truck just getting snatched left and right. So he's getting snatched left and right, and then finally it's snatched hard enough to where he got loose. He went down, and it would have been a one-car incident. But Juan Cobbs in the 30 was coming through on the bottom, clipped his front end, and shot that 81 back into the track, collecting Donald Bell and a few others.
Yes, sir. And I think pit lane's about to be open this time. Edwin, before we go, could take a quick break. In your opinion, we said these guys have about 37 laps worth of fuel. In long run terms, are you pitting for fuel? Because I think I would.
I would not, because you're going to have an advantage if you don't right now. So I would not pit for fuel. I would keep my track position, let it run till the next green flag pit stop cycle, and then I'm good to go. Because if you pit now, you're going to be off cycle, and your tires are going to be way more worn out. So.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more racing here at Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Contender Series here at Las Vegas. We're going to be on lap 38, so about 63 laps to go. They got about one more pit stop, and I think they should be able to make it all the rest of the way. But we're back to go green. Ben Pivot and Aaron Hill on your front row pace car diving down pit lane. Okay, green flag is out. Ben Pivot was a great launch. 20. Didn't get a good launch. Aaron Underhill still having a good launch right now, right behind the 35 and Ben Pivot.
Good
Single
racing
file for
going
the top
on so
three.
far. I know Aaron Underhill wished that start could have been a little bit different for him because, again, he does know how to run the high side, so he was looking at that as an opportunity to try and move forward. Right now, your first guy running the outside is Schaefer, and that 46 right there for Misfit Racing, and he's trying to make a pass for the P3 position. He needs to hurry up and get it done so he can move to the bottom.
Now he will get a clear off an exit. Now here off the next turn, I feel like he's pushing a little bit too much. I think it's right now on the bumper to 21.
Yeah, he was shoving the 21 through that corner, but now he's moving up. But the 21 decides to throw a bit of a tiny block, but that could be just due to him getting pushed into the corner. I mean, if you get pushed into the corner, you're definitely moving up a lane.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to move up a lane when you're being pushed. Aaron Underhill to the outside of 35, a bit pivot, going to try and make a run. 46 looked like it's looking to the inside, trying to make a 3 wide.
He's now going to choose the 21, try and help him out a bit. There he goes to the outside. This is not what Ben Pivot wanted. He wanted these guys to stay behind him. 21 still holding strong on that outside. 3 wide for the lead right now.
60 laps remaining. Bold moves here with 60 to go. Ben Pivot's probably going to be pulled out. Yes, he is. 20 right behind the 21. Going out of turns 3 and 4.
Look who's joined the fray. Austin Knight bringing it up in there. The last or second to last true remaining beer run racer. Remember, that team used to be a dominant force here in DES last season, and then a lot of them branched off to other things. But Austin Knight showing them that beer run's still a top threat team.
Yeah, kind of went disbanded with a whole bunch of guys going into Whiskey Throttle. Some of those guys now in DNR. And I'm going to say Austin Knight, if he's able to keep this up, he might get a top 5 out of this if he's just able to set the pace right.
Yeah, he's just got to keep working at it. I mean, he's in the right position. He's on the bottom side, and he's preserving those tires right now. So things are working out better for him.
Yeah, we're probably going to see people get a little more frisky as this race goes on. We saw you had a 3 wide for the lead. Aaron Hill still all over the bumper of the 35 of Ben Pivot.
And Schaus is just back there kind of watching them in the background. He's looking to try and move his way up, but it's not really working out that much for him right now. He's poking to the inside, actually. But I wanted to also point out something else. I want you to keep your eye on this in the background. We've got double throttle hoppers on the way, Stetson and Christopher Wolford. We saw Wolford working his way towards the front earlier. So those guys, keep an eye on them back there, too.
These guys, throttle hoppers have been quick so far this season. And 46 on Michael Schaffer, or Mitchell Schaffer, my bad. Is now up to second. He's going to be on the inside, but I don't think he'll be able to clear. Yeah, Aaron Henry able to clear him going into the corner.
But he's still there. Look at him poking his nose
barely
back under there. He's trying to keep Aaron Underhill up the track to hurt his tires more. But he's got to make sure he doesn't hurt his own tires in this exchange.
And now Sanders on the inside of Schaffer. 5 laps from halfway here. I'm gonna say. I
Schaefer
think
goes real
also
high.
I got a little bit loose.
He's able to keep it pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, 34 is Stetson. Got a little bit to the inside of Austin Knight. Able to keep it there. Good save, Austin Knight. Able to keep the truck straight.
They're putting on a real good show right now. Schaefer, though, in trouble. He's heading in the wrong direction now.
Well, right now, with the way that Schaefer was running, he was running very aggressive for about the first 5 to 10 laps of this green flag run. So I'm not surprised he's being moved to the back. Austin Knight looking to the inside.
So far, so good. These guys are putting on one heck of a show. Yes, we've had 2 cautions, but they're putting on a great show right now. And again, let me direct your attention to the P9 position. That's where Donald Risto is sitting. Right now, that would guarantee him the points lead for this series. Yes, we're only 3 races in. This will be the 3rd. But still, having that points lead early on is a good momentum boost.
Oh, 100%. And Donald Ritzow, I think, as far as Pace Knight's been doing very well, so he's going to be someone to keep an eye out for this season, I think.
Yeah, he's a very consistent driver, and he's really putting his best foot forward. But now he's under threat from, you see his name as Jonathan Howell, but his real name's Jameson Howell. He's a twin brother, so he's out there running right now, and he's trying to put Risto under threat.
Yeah, Howell's been doing very good, very push. I think right now, if Howell can actually get up there to the top 5, I think he will be more of a threat. Right now, we'll just have to wait to see what happens throughout the rest of the season. Right now, I think 25 is going to be someone you want to look out for the season.
Look at this, though. Practically single file all throughout the field, all the way up until Jameson, where we were just talking about with the 79 is Schema. But Schema's going to just let him take the position and slot right back in behind him. Oh, never mind. We're close. He's battling back.
Yeah, 79 and 97 almost had a little bit of incident right there in turns 3 and 4.
This is going to allow Jeff Dinda to get back up in that fray. Our currently highest running DNR driver is now moving towards the front.
Well, we're now a little bit over halfway. You got 48 laps remaining here in Vegas.
Aaron Underhill deciding to change lanes and move to that higher group there through 1 and 2. He might be trying to gain a little bit of momentum on Ben Pivot, who's led every lap so far.
Well, let's talk about Aaron Underhill. Been running the bottom most of this time. I think he's just trying to make sure air is off that front nose, but at this point, don't know. We're coming close on to pit cycle. I want to say within 5 to 6 laps. So, if you're in Aaron Underhill's position, are you going to try to undercut and save in this long run, or are you going to try to save now and stay a little bit longer? That way, you know for a fact you're going to be able to make it.
I'd rather go for the undercut because of the simple fact that new tires are much faster. But I want to keep the undercut to as small as possible. Because if it's a large undercut and you're talking 5-10 laps, that's going to create a massive issue where you're just losing time. But if you do it within a lap or 2 of them, that's going to set you up pretty.
So many guys, I think are about going to talk about pit strategy. I think Pivot was discussing if he was going to pit or not.
I think he was talking to a lap car. He's pulling up on a lap car. In the 26th position, it's going to be Juan Cobbs.
involved in an earlier wreck. I would say our last caution did not help him out at all. So, and these guys are running up on him quick.
Pit stops are going to really shake up this race, especially for this group of people back here. You see them back there all over the place, starting with Austin Knight in P8 and all the way back to about the P24 position. They're all like right there. So pit stops are going to shake up them a lot, and it's going to allow a lot of them to either gain or lose some positions.
And if you want to talk about some action, let's go more into the field around where Jeff Denton is, 84 in 14th position. I see some guys back here battling back and forth with contact between 13 and 12. So, as we're coming close to the pit cycle, this is going to be interesting to see.
Yeah,
64 all over the 84.
Where he's at, he's got a lot of heavy hitters around him. I mean, John Dottle right behind him, Donald Bell, Michael Schema, all those guys, even Ryan Godfrey. And then Ristow is right in front of this mess right here, as they're almost 3 wide right there. But John Dottle knows better, and he pulled that thing hard to the left on the straightaway.
Yeah, it looked like he got hold on to that left rear quarter panel, so I think it's a happen circumstance that a wreck did not happen because Jeff Denton almost went around on that straightaway.
Another guy I want to talk about, Dylan Hinton. He was towards the front when the restart happened. He has drifted all the way back to P19. I don't know if he just doesn't have full grasp of the track or what's going on, but this is very uncharacteristic. I know he did have that spin, but I did expect him to be higher up in the field than he is right now.
All right. Well, he could have some damage, still has some form of damage, and that could be a factor too. Jeff Denton backing out.
I wonder what made Jeff do that. That's a weird situation to go through, especially when he's the type of guy, he is going to try and go for the win, but dropping out like that, he's just hurting himself.
But you gotta wonder though, is if Jeff thinking long game, because this lap now we are 40 laps to go. About 3 more laps, and these guys will be able to make it all the rest of the way through. So, oh no, these guys are still battling mighty hard.
And that's definitely what they're hoping on, is to be able to make it to the end. And that's what they're aiming for right now. Like, they're all taking it easy. Nobody's really going for a pass. Nobody's really doing anything extra. They're all kind of just, I don't want to say meandering around or logging laps, because that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is paying attention to the situation in front of them and trying to prepare themselves for having to pit.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to talk about and 15th on back, these guys have been battling like really hard. These guys are almost like 3 to 4 wide contact with the 82, which he's going to prevail on that 3 wide.
They are fighting hard back here. The 82 of Jacob Akers, he's trying to make his way towards the front, but he's trying to do it smart. So it's getting tighter and tighter here. And you know the truck is getting tighter and tighter as well on these guys. So these position changes, they're going to be harder to do right now.
It's interesting to see this back here. We're coming 37 to go this time by, and gosh, you kind of wonder whether or not that it's smart to be like battling this hard, this, like, you know, 37 to go. But I get it. You're kind of wanting to put yourself in the right spot and then this pit cycle. But
hold on, we've been talking about the back of the field a lot. That 20 machine has moved his way past Aaron Underhill to take P2.
So, Aaron 20 is now been slated to catch up with the pit pivot, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about fuel strategy now. You know for a fact here on out, you're 100% able to make it What is your strategy going from here on out?
Man, it's a tough one now because now we're in the game of tire management. Okay? If you're good on managing your stuff, you definitely want to be thinking for a later pit stop. If you're not so good at managing your stuff, but you're good at setting good, consistent laps for at least 20 laps, you need to start thinking about pitting a little sooner. This is a tough one, man. And I'm not a real good crew chief, which is terrible because I've recently lost my crew chief for my team, and now I am without one and trying to figure this out on my own. I feel for these guys who have to make these quick decisions on their own.
So, if it's me in this situation, what I'm going to do is, this is just me now, I'm probably going to pit either between lap 70 and 75 if I can make it. This is where I think that if you're able to make it, but if you can't, I say from this lap that we're on right now, from on out is perfect. If you're able to manage it right.
Apparently, I'm kind of curious. I wonder if this is a just an overshot right now. I'm looking into it. I think based off the weather, the sun's going down, which will allow it to get even quicker, and that's going to change the gameplay even more.
.47 is pitting in this time. We are now on pit cycle.
He is going to be our first guy pitting in, so let's see who else decides to follow in that footstep. We've got the 47. He's hitting pit road. I'm going to take a look at pit road entry right now and just see who else might be coming down. 35 pitting. Our race leader is in.
And now the 40, so 47 has started our pit cycle. And we're going to see how the rest of these guys are able to do it. Oh, 35 spun on pit entry.
That is not what he wanted. That is a terrible... And he can't get it back straight. He just now got it straight.
So that horrible pit entry for the 35, that is probably going to cost him the race right there.
Unless
50 pitting,
he can figure out a way to overcome that situation, but I find it hard. Listen to that. You hear all the guys calling out their pitting. Most of the field, Aaron Underhill, almost a violation there, cutting down that late. That's going to make it tough on him, too.
Oh, I think a lot more people, more and more people are going to come down pit lane, get their fuel and tires.
Most people are down pit road right now. There's only a few trucks left on the track. That allows Jamison Howell to take over the lead right now with Donald Rusto in P2.
So, all right. With the mishap that happened with the 35 of Ben Pivot, where do you think the rest of these guys are going to come out? Because I think Aaron Underhill will probably win this race based upon what happened on pit lane.
Well, if we look off the race off of pit road right now, Schema is kind of the benefactor of it the most. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think Aaron Underhill is not going to be our race leader because he did lose the race lead to the 20th Sanders. So if Sanders is able to come out before him, which is appearing he did by a gap of 3 seconds, that might help him out. 82 back on pit road. I think he had a speeding penalty. Jeff Dynda was the last one to come in, but he's on pit road now.
Top 3 only got like 37 laps left, so been out for 37 laps. I think these guys, 95 says coming down pit lane. So Sanders is now going to be your race leader once his pit cycle is completed. So I know what Aaron Underhill is doing. He's trying to make sure that he is able to like just have a little bit more fuel just in case, and like take air off that front wing. But the only problem I have to see with that is just that dirty air.
Yeah, right now Michael Schema is currently leading the way, but Sanders just went past him and unlapped himself. So he's probably there goes. Schema's coming down pit road as he has Schaefer pulling up behind him, and Ben Pivot is behind Schaefer. And guess who's behind that? Aaron Underhill. So it looks like we've had a massive shakeup in the pit strategy right here. Oh, 79 almost missed pit road. He made it. There's the commitment line. He's good to go.
Let me give you this though, for people who pitted for the top 4 once the pit cycle is completed. Robert Sanders, 4-lap old tires. Schaefer and Pivot, 5-lap old tires. And Aaron Underhill with 4-lap old tires. You know, I'm going to even go Dylan Henry. Dylan Henry has 7-lap old tires at this point. So, thoughts on this, Edwin?
I think they're going to really have to pay attention to everything going on now, man. I have no idea what direction to think about right now because with the pit strategy over, we do know Ben Pivot is very fast, but at the same time, he did have that spin. So I'm very curious to see how this all shakes out.
I feel like Aaron Underhill, 1 lap difference, it may be enough, but all depends how Aaron Underhill decides to race these last 24 laps. And yellow flag is out.
I don't know what that one could have possibly been for. Oh, it looked like Ward Fisher was trying to go higher, and Austin Knight was trying to stay lower, and they just ran into each other. And because he looped it in the backwards direction, that throws the iRacing caution.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Contender Series. Shake Up has begun at pit lane. 11th on back went down pit lane for fuel and tires. So, yep, 100% caution change everything. Your top 10 did not go down pit lane. So 11th on back, fresh tires and fuel. So we're back to go green. We're gonna be 20 laps to go. Robert Sanders taking us the command to go green.
If it
Hey,
was me,
green flag is
I
out.
would have pitted. But green flag's out. 20 car Sander gets a beautiful jump, and he is looking to set himself apart because those fresh tires, they're about to be coming, and they're about to be coming fast.
Now, the driver who had the freshest tires amongst the people who did not pit is Jeff Demda with 8-lap old tires. Now, with that caution, it's probably going to be around 5-lap old tires. So, with 20 laps to go, my money's on mid pivot at this moment. Very fast off those guys who have pitted for fresh tires. It's going to be chaos in the middle.
Yeah, that 20 machine, he's really trying to set himself apart and trying to drive away from these guys. But look at that. Schaefer. 2 cars down, no caution.
No caution is out, but there was car contact in the back.
They kept it pointed in the right direction. That 20 machine did not want a caution right now, but he definitely needs to figure something out because here comes Schaefer, Mitchell Schaefer, chasing him down. Donald Rusto also trying to move into the top 4.
It's in the wall.
That's going to be a caution.
'51. He was sideways and he was rubbing against the front end, rubbing up against the wall. Christopher Wolford. Yeah, these guys were 3 wide for
run today.
Yeah, and these guys were like 3 wide for a while. 81 Dillon sent up into him.
And then
It's
that
so
arrow
loose.
got him, and then he went up into the next truck.
Unfortunate for the 51. And, man.
Just unfortunate, but now back to our leaders, the 20 of Sanders. He's got Schaefer there, and Schaefer is showing that he is bad fast. This is going to take us to within 13 laps to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DS Contender Series. We're back going to go green 14 laps ago across the start finish line. And some people went down pit lane who stayed out from before. I think these guys who stayed out before should have gotten out pit lane, but hey, things happen. Green flag is out. Sanders, great launch from the 20 truck.
I think those guys in the front played it right, and they stayed out like they should have. Because now it's on to the edge. We got a car coming already. Schema around. Risto involved. Oh my God. Big one. Big one in Vegas. Oh, it started with Michael Schema in the 79. That is not what any of those guys wanted.
That was the big one.
Oh, let's go back and try and see if we can get a better angle of that. Looks like two trucks right there, and a gap just
mid pivot.
He probably was hearing outside from his spotter and thought it was just Schema. Didn't realize there was a second one.
Well, sometimes the spotter doesn't. If you're three like that, just the nose doesn't even let you know they're outside. So, but that caused a huge chain reaction right there. Yes, yeah, 35 just inched forward, and that just chaos.
Look how many
ensued.
trucks involved. So many strong trucks just wiped out right there. And now these guys are making I have to say, unfortunate mistake. 20 is on pit road, so is the 46. They're all coming down. Well, most of the field was taken out in that, so maybe it might be a good decision.
Well, a lot of these guys have a fast pair. Unless they used a fast pair beforehand, your race was over. But we're going to take a quick break and be right back with more racing here at Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 10 where we tend to go this time by, but apparently we are holding off a 1 to green. We'll be 1 to green next time by, apparently. Well, Edwin, will be 9 laps to go coming to the green flag. With that caution, who is your money on? I got mine on Aaron Underhill.
I don't know. I don't know if I can definitively say Aaron Underhill. I would actually say my money is on Ward Fisher in the P3 position, because all it takes is for him to drive it into the corner on the second to last lap, pushed that 13 up, and he is now under him and Aaron Underhill if they're still side by side, and he's driving off. So I would have to put my money on Ward Fisher back there to take the dub.
With that huge caution, a lot of drivers are now out of this race. I want to say, but man, oh man, I think, me personally, if I'm, the 13 Don Bell, I will want to try my hardest to get clear of Aaron Underhill and just try to block my hardest. Sorry, I had to sneeze.
That's all.
I'll try my hardest. Yeah, just try to block the hardest thing you can, but try to keep it clean at the same time. You gotta manage your stuff with 9 laps to go. Man, ain't no time like the press of a bus. Send it.
But he also has to be worried about all those people on fresh tires who are behind him. Robert Sanders is all the way back in the P12 position, and he was leading. So he's on the outside, and if he wants to rip that outside line for the next 9 laps, he can, and it will be fast.
Well, he has 20 lap old tires, but a lot of cautions back to back. So, and green flag is out. So we're gonna see if Donabell can manage his stuff for 9 laps.
He's gonna get in front of Aaron Underhill. He's going to the high side, but he opens that door right up for Underhill, who drove it in there.
Yeah, a lot of these guys were side by side, throwing it 3 wide. And turns 3 and 4. Aaron Underhill pulling away. A lot of balls in contact. Car around 66.
Big wreck in the back.
I think I saw a car flip.
Looks like Juan Cobb just got into the back of the 66, and the 20 is the one who flipped over.
Oh my god.
And look at the 97 just rolling backwards past the start-finish line.
Alright, let's see the 20. Yeah, he had nowhere to go in this situation. He was just along for the ride. 27 was also airport. I request a cockpit view of this ride. Let's ride aboard with the 20 and see what he saw from his beautiful cockpit.
I mean, there's really was just nowhere for him to go. He's there. He can't see much right here. And then there goes just a truck sideways right in his way.
Yep, and then sideways. Oh my god.
Big wreck right there. But that allows Aaron Underhill to take the lead. And when we go back green, we should have 3 laps to go as Risto is your lucky dog.
Yeah, like 3 to 4 laps ago, almost a green-white checker. Man, huge wreck. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more racing here at Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Contender Series here at Las Vegas. We got 5 laps to go once we cross the start-finish line. I feel like there's going to be more chaos as this race goes, as we count down these last final 5 laps. Edwin, what do you think?
I think Donald Bell has his work cut out for him, and Aaron Underhill is going to have to put up a serious fight because now that they know there are way less laps going on, they're about to get antsy.
Yeah, Aaron Underhill's better tire situation. Green flag is out. Aaron Underhill pulled away, and yellow flag.
I know what's going on. He trying to fix something here in the simulator here. Sometimes it messes up, and a caution was thrown by mistake by the system. So we're getting that fixed. We're going to get it back to green, and we're going to get going.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Las Vegas. We have our first green-white checker. None of the caution comes out. I believe that will be it for yellows. But I would say this now. I still think Aaron Underhill is the guy. The only guy who is on the freshest tires is back in 7th, 46 of Schaefer. And the pace car will be diving down pit lane this time by Edwin. What are you thinking?
I'm still thinking somebody on that outside row might be able to take him, but it's all dependent right here when that green flag comes out. And it looks like Aaron Underhill stacked them up, so this might be his race to lose now. Oh, 13 around. But it's a single car. There's the caution. 7's around as well.
What in the world happened with the 13?
It's almost like he missed a shift.
It went up.
That's a missed shift like nobody's business right there.
That's what we call a money shift. Well, we have our second green-white checkered. This is our final green-white checkered of the night. And coming up next, we have the Premier Series at New Hampshire. Ladies and gentlemen, our final green-white checkered of the night for the Contender Series. Up next, we have the Premier Series at New Hampshire. Aaron Underhill, your racer, 34 Stetson Williams on the outside. Eric Robinson and Ethan right behind Aaron Underhill. Fisher on the 60 on the outside. 46 of Schaefer on the inside in the 5th position. Edwin, what are you thinking? Edwin. You know what? I do believe Edwin says he's going to be away. We're back and come green this time by pace car diving down pit lane. All appearance on Aaron Underhill's restart. Green flag for the final time. Aaron Underhill pulling away. This should stay green throughout the rest of this 2 laps. Shovel in the back! Car is spinning! But they're on the bottom. We're staying green. And Aaron Underhill taking a white flag. Yellow flag did come out. Aaron Underhill is your race winner. Aaron Underhill takes the win here at Las Vegas. Yeah, we're finishing under caution. Aaron Underhill takes your win. Ward Fisher in second. Kevin Stanley in third. Cecil Williams in fourth. Andrew Bryson in fifth. Eric Robinson in sixth. Robert Sanders in seventh. Mitchell Shafford in eighth. Nicholas Lamb in ninth. And Ben Pivot in 10th. Aaron Underhill is our golden ticket winner for Premier. John Dalton in 11th, Donald Rissau in 12th, Michael Kidd in 13th, Austin Knight in 14th, Daniel Hayden in 15th, Juan Cobbs Jr. 16th, Brian Smith is 17th, Jeff Denton in 18th, and Paul Mizuki in 47th, Colby Crow in 20th. Michael Shima in 20th. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching our contenders race here tonight at Las Vegas. Premier is coming up next at New Hampshire, and we will see y'all then.